Okay, so we're going to start with our white chalk. We need our tulips to mostly fill up the paper, right, so that they're big enough for us to add our details. I'm going to start with the one in the background. My tulips are round, so I'm just going to do that to begin with, right? Make this light little U shape, and you can draw right along with me because your tulips are a little bit different. And I'm just going to narrate while I do this, so you can either draw what I'm drawing or you can draw your own little tulipy friends. This tulip over here to the right is open more than the first tulip, and then this one down here is open the most. All right, just like that. So now I have my tulips laid out so that I know where they're going to go, and I have space for all of them. I am not pushing hard with my white chalk because I know I'm going to have to layer the colors on top of it. Now I'm going to add in my stems. The stems come from the middle of the petals, the flower head. Turns out Miss Dorsey doesn't know her flower vocabulary very well. I'm just going to put that in and figure all color over it. And then I have some very nice leaves. If yours don't have leaves, you're welcome to just draw leaves like what I'm going to draw. It looks like there's a little leaf coming up here. It's nice that the leaves kind of hide the awkward crap that I did when I was drawing the stems. Thanks, leaves. I appreciate your efforts. And then there's one back here. Feel free to leave some leaves out if there's just too many. Like I've got this business going on over in the side of mine. I don't want to draw that. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave that out. Get it? I'm going to leave it out. Ding. These are the jokes, folks. Thank you, Seth. All right, so I'm feeling pretty satisfied with my outside shape. It's big. I have enough room to work in. So with pastels, you will do better if you draw big, right? If you draw tiny, it's really hard to get the detail. There are like chalk pastel pencils, and we won't use those on the sidewalk, obviously, because it would eat a whole pencil to do part of one drawing, and I don't actually have any of those. But if you're using them for your own personal work, that is something that exists, but we just have these big fat rectangles, right? So you want to make sure that you're drawing big enough that you can get the detail in that you want. And you'll want to do that too when you're out there on the sidewalk. You make sure you draw real big. The squares are like 3 foot by 3 foot. So they're big, they're not small. And you're gonna need to draw big. Okay, so for my tulips, you can choose to draw yours so that they are local color, which means they're the color they are. Or you can do expressive color, which means you're picking colors for any reason at all. All right? So if you have a certain color scheme you're working with in your chalk drawing and you want to practice that, you already know what you're doing, that might be a good thing to choose. But if you just want to make them whatever color they are, you can. If you're looking at the tulips your neighbor got next to you and you like the color their tulips are better, for crap's sake, go ahead and do those ones. All right? So we are still working on blending, right, and layering. So I gotta get my thing folded. Okay, my tulips, they look very light and they have kind of a reddish. I'm gonna get some purple in there too. And feel free, guys, to work at your own pace. I'm going to continue working and talking, but if you feel like you can kind of move ahead, just make sure that you're listening. Start with your lightest color. Everybody always starting with our lightest color. My lightest color is probably this one, and then that one will work too, and then always you can lighten things with white. So if I start with a color and it's too dark, you can go over it with white and it'll lighten right up. So I'm going to start here with this lovely little peachy color. Oh, I think I need a little bit more detail before I begin. I'm gonna do a little drawing in here in my tulips. For some reason, I thought that just a U shape was going to be enough guide for me. I was wrong. Just a U shape is not enough guide for me. So I'm just filling it in. Okay, cute little tulips. That one's got a little, like a little heart-shaped petal. That's cute. Oh, that's too tall. All right. Okay, there we go. Feeling a little bit better about my tulip shapes. Now I can go ahead and start putting things in. So up here, I'm going to start from the top down, right? Just like we've talked about, because I don't want to smear. As much as I can, I'm going to try not to smear my work. So I'm going to go up here with the side of this light color and start adding it in. Remember to try to push all of your dust in, if at all possible, because when we're out using it on the sidewalk, you're not going to be able to shake it off because you can't pick up the chunks of sidewalk. Try not to rest your hand that's drawing on the paper while you're drawing. I know sometimes we draw like this, right, with our wrists down on the paper. Try not to do that because it smears the chalk. Those are looking pretty cool. I'm going to get a little bit of light on this and then I'm going to do a lap around the room. Please let me know if you're struggling. Just remember to push lightly to begin with. Don't start shoving right out of the gate. shell. I'm gonna get in here and if you already started using black, it's okay, but let's see what we can do to use black as our very last resort. If you feel like something needs to be dark, if you can use colors that are similar and also dark to make it dimensional before you hit it with black, your picture will stay cleaner and the colors will look brighter and prettier, okay? It's not wrong, and in fact, many of you will prove me wrong with your ability to use it, but I gotta tell you that it's so friggin' dirty, and they just don't, they aren't as dimensional when you're blacking it up. All right, so now I'm going to go in here with my next darkest color, just like we did the spheres. And I'm gonna get it with this peachy. I'm going to adjust the peach with a pink in a mauve, but I don't have the exact right pink color, so I'm going to be changing it as I go. That, and then I'm gonna go yellow at the bottom. And then yellow for my stems. And for the next one, I'll try with the brighter yellow just to see what it looks like in case you don't have the butter yellow in your set. So I used the brighter yellow, and now I'm going over it with the white to kind of knock it back a little bit. I feel like it turned out okay. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and use it for this one too. And I'm going to do yellow on my leaves. select that peach. Okay, now I'm going to go in with that pink. I only have this kind of magenta-y pink. Oh look, and it's got surprise blue on the side of it. That's exciting. Now I need to start trying to get it in there so that the detail is maintained. My first few layers I was really just going for coverage, and now I'm trying to pay attention to the details. I'm looking a lot at my reference picture for the structure of the petals. So when I do this, I'm trying to leave white where I already have it. So if you look at the one where I put the bright pink on it, you can see how I'm leaving the white on the edges. Not like an outline, but on my petals, it has this lightness on the ends of the petals. So look at your petals and see what they look like, and try to use what's already there to get them to match. And again, if you've switched and you're using a different color than what's there, that's still okay. You can still look for the lightness, right? And leaving the lightness it'll still be good even if the colors are different. Zeke, does that need to sit on my desk? Does that need to sit on my desk? All right, guys, I'm gonna come around and check on you. All right, so I've got those layers, and I'm gonna try in here with the very dark blue, up here with the top one. And kind of like that. So that's what it looks like with the dark blue. I do kind of want to try with the red to see if I can get the local color to be closer to the reference picture. I don't know how it's going to work. I think it might look poopy, but maybe it'll be amazing. Okay, so I like the red over the blue. I think that's kind of nice. then I'm going to go in with my lightest color again and try to do a little highlight on this one and then leave them alone until it's time for the background, because we're going to do little backgrounds on these. So I'm going to get in here. It looks like I blended over the top of his highlight up here. Well, that's pretty fun. All right, now I'm going to try, on this one I'm going to use purple instead. I have this really dark purple, so I'm going to do my darks with purple. Kind of lay them down and then gently push them around with my little fingers. All right, well, lovies, it looks like we will continue with this tomorrow.